It's day 2 of Winterween. You will be seeing days 2 and 3 in this video. For day 1, I read The Fiction Writer. I have 4 books left on my TBR, plus some other options. So I'm continuing with the spinner wheel to pick my books. The spinner wheel only has the 4 on my main TBR, and then I will try to get to the other ones if I have a little extra time in one day or at the end of the readathon. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Lexi. I'm overly ambitious at all times. So I started the spinner wheel. I was hoping for a short one. I don't really have any long ones. The longest one is The Night It Ended. I wanted a shorter one because I spent a lot of day 2 finishing my book for day 1. So tonight I will be starting Sallow Bend by Alan Baxter. I have this very cool copy that I'll show you later. But this is carnival horror. I think this is the only horror on my TBR. The Women Could Fly, I think, is like a dark fantasy maybe. But I think this one's gonna be really fun. I've had it for a while and I'm excited to get to it. I'm gonna eat dinner, work on editing a video, and start this. It's day 3 of Winterween. I am getting back on track with my vlogging today. It is noon. I haven't read yet today, but I have plenty of time to do that. I have a lot of big plans for today. I want to finish organizing my shelves for my reset. I want to finish Sallow Bend before it gets dark because last night I also started Hot Springs Drive, which I'm reading for the book in the dark prompt. So I read The Fiction Writer for the purple on the cover prompt. Sallow Bend is for W in the title, and then Read in the Dark. Starting off with Sallow Bend, I am 63 pages in, so it's not super far. So in this, 2 teenagers go missing from a small rural town of Sallow Bend, and the residents are searching for them. Little do they suspect that finding the wayward girls will be the start of their problems. An old evil is rising, and only one man seems to realize that everyone is in danger, and that is not the first time it has happened. There's a carnival in town, so the day that these girls go missing is the first day the carnival is there. So we are getting different perspectives. Caleb, he is the janitor at the local school, and he is kind of an outcast. He is not like normal, so people immediately suspect him. Like at the very beginning, cops are showing up to his house to question him, and like the one guy is terrible about it. And then we are also getting Trisha, and her husband's son went missing a couple years ago, so like we don't know if it's related or not, but she's helping with the search. And then we are also following Ashley, who is the owner of the carnival. I think those are the perspectives we're getting. Yes, they're all like interacting with each other, specifically Caleb and Trisha, and so far they're just looking for these girls, like going out. We saw the cops come and question the carnival people. That's really it so far. I truly don't have anything to say at this point because like that's all that has happened, but I'm looking forward to getting into this more today. I'm gonna listen to this while I am finishing organizing my shelves, and I want to do some cleaning around my house. I didn't like start the year with a super clean house, but I'm trying to get it there and kind of make it a priority to keep up with things instead of obsessing over certain things in my life and letting everything else kind of fall to the wayside. So that is Sallow Bend so far. And then I also started Hot Springs Drive while I was getting ready for bed and laying in bed before I fell asleep. And I don't know about this one. I'm going to try some more tonight, but also I'm considering DNFing it. We're following Jackie, and her best friend is dead. Jackie's like the main character, but we're following different people. And this is separated into 2 parts, I believe. And in part 1, everyone is alive. So the synopsis tells us everything in part 1. The first chapter is like kind of really weird. And then it goes to Teresa, who is the one that ends up dead. And then Jackie, who is our main character. Then we're getting like the realtor trying to sell a house. I think that one was in the past. Then like we have a chapter of the boys. Nick, who is the husband, and where I am now, we are back to Jackie. This, I just don't know if this is going to be the book for me. I'm not loving the writing. I'm not sure why. It's just feeling like it's just too much for me. I don't think that I like the characters switching this much, and I'm not sure I'm going to love where the plot goes. From what I have heard about this book, it's a bunch of neighbors who want to have sex with each other. And like, good for them, but I don't want to read about that. And then the fact that the murder and stuff doesn't happen until pretty late in the book, that's too much. And I just don't know if I can do it. So it's like 12 and it gets dark at like 4:30, 4 o'clock, which is the dumbest thing ever. So I want to finish Salabend before then, which I think is doable, especially because I have a lot of things that I'm trying to do that like I can listen to an audiobook while I do. Then I'm going to go back to Hot Springs Drive, and I'm going to read a little bit more of it, but if I'm not loving it while I'm fully awake, because I wasn't like asleep when I was listening to it, but I was getting ready for bed, so it was the end of the night, so maybe like I just was missing things. I don't think so, but benefit of the doubt. I'm going to try it again. And if I decide to not continue this, I think I want to get to Blood on the Tracks 13 and 14 tonight. Blood on the Tracks are such short reads that I could read both of these in like 20 to 25 minutes. Some manga has a lot of words in it, but this is not. Like, I've looked at 4 pages and there's barely anything. So these are very fast reads, and I'm kind of anticipating that this is what I'm going to end up doing because I just wasn't vibing with this one really at all. It felt too domestic. Sometimes like neighborhood drama like this works really well for me, but I just don't think this is the case. I'm gonna work on some organizing and get to Salabend. It's 1:45 and I'm finally on track to actually do what I wanted to do today. So I am 161 pages into Salabend, and I am not loving this. Like, it's okay. I feel like it's gonna get 3 stars from me. I wish we were focusing more on one character, and I understand that the problem with that is that there are these different people we are following that have different experiences that are showing us more information in the book, but I'm not really connecting to anybody, and I think it's because we're not spending as much time with people. I prefer if we have 1 or 2 perspectives. I think my favorite in horror is first person present. I feel like that's when I can get most connected to the characters because I feel like I am with them and experiencing these situations with them. But when we are jumping around watching different characters and it's in third person, it just in horror doesn't work as well for me. I think that horror maybe works better for me if I feel what the character's feeling, not observing things like from the outside. But the story is interesting enough. So the synopsis says they find the girls. So like I am at that point, and the thing that's happening with that is interesting, especially because like only certain people realize it, and I do really like that, but I just feel very separated from the story, which I think is my main issue. I do really want to know how it wraps up though, which is why I feel like it's feeling like 3 stars instead of a little bit lower. I do know at this point it's not going to be a favorite for me. I'm probably just going to finish the rest of this while I do some stuff. I took down my Christmas tree, I was doing some cleaning, and I still have so much more to do, but I'm really glad to be getting things done around the house and getting a lot of reading in. I finished Salabend, and I know I said this was going to be 3 stars, but I lied. Actually, really what happened was I did not like the last third of this book. It was so boring, and I think I was kind of tricking myself saying that I liked it earlier because I wanted to keep this edition, but I'm going to be unhauling this. I think that it was too slow, and it was trying to be character focused, but I talked earlier about how I didn't like relate to any of the characters. I didn't care about anything. The way it wrapped up, didn't care about it. Anyone that died, I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah, 2 stars. I didn't like this. This does have over a 4-star average rating on Goodreads, so like, I don't know, I'm the unpopular opinion, but this was just not for me. Moving on, it is 6 o'clock. It looks lighter in here because I have a million lights on, but hello. Yep, Bowser puts his nose on this all the time. It's dark, so I'm gonna go back to Hot Springs Drive. I I've made it 75 pages into this, which is 25. And I'm gonna DNF this. I just had to read a scene where a teenage boy is doing his thing in the bathtub and his mom is in his thoughts at the time, and I'm not interested. The writing is fine. I guess that like maybe the beginning was a little different, or I just got used to it, or I was just like not processing things as well last night. The amount of just like relationship drama and horniness in this book, I'm not interested in it. This has a really high average rating. It doesn't have a lot of readers, but a lot of people seem to like it, and people say it's messed up and all this stuff, but I just cannot push through all of this to get to that. Part 2 doesn't happen for way too long, and I just don't want to be reading this very domestic book. I don't want to read about the sex in here. I don't want it. So I am going to DNF, my first DNF of the year. Look at me go. My first book that I am unhauling from my shelves in this video. My first DNF of the year. Good times. I have a couple more things that I need to do. I've been working on my shelf organization, and then I'm going to read one of the manga that I have. So I still need to do some organizing on my shelves, and I decided to procrastinate and read Blood on the Tracks Volume 13. I really didn't like this one, so this one is a 20-year time jump after the last volume, and it's been a while since I read the last one. So apparently the first 12 volumes are just a prequel to this, so this is the very first one in this new timeline, and I guess it's gonna go on for a while, but like I didn't care about anything that happened in this. He clearly is still struggling from things that happened in his past as a kid, and I do think that the end of this can lead to some interesting things, but like for this one, for me, like it really just felt like a 2-star. Not bad, but just kind of boring. I think that subsequent ones will be more interesting, but this one just, I don't know, it was not what I wanted or expected it to be. I'm gonna do some stuff with my shelves. I haven't started another novel yet. I think I'm gonna just finish a book that I need to read for another video, but I do think I'm gonna read volume 14 before I go to bed, because why not? It is midnight. Day 3 is over. I did not read Blood on the Tracks volume 14. I ended up just finishing a different book for another video, and I just finished, and then I've just been on my phone for a few minutes. But since it's midnight, I'm gonna go to bed, trying to get on a sleep schedule. So wrapping this up, this was an interesting 2 days. Salad Bend being 2 stars, Blood on the Tracks 13 being 2 stars, and DNFing Hot Springs Drive. Hopefully the next 2 days go better. I'm really excited about the books that I'm going to be reading. 3 days down, and I have completed 3 of the prompts. W in the title, purple on the cover, and read in the dark. So that's very exciting. I will probably read more than I anticipated in my other 2 vlogs. So I need to start thinking of some books. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the rest of my Winterween vlogs. If you were looking to find me in other places on the internet, everything is linked in the description, including my Bookstagram, my Storygraph, and my Patreon. Nova says, shoot out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!